The Portuguese Burghers are an ethnic group in Sri Lanka, of mixed Portuguese and Sri Lankan descent. They are Roman Catholic and spoke the Sri Lanka Indo-Portuguese language, a creole based on Portuguese. In modern times, English has become the common language while Sinhalese is taught in school as a second language. A large number of Portuguese Burghers living on the east coast of Sri Lanka are of Portuguese descent. This is evident in the Sri Lanka Indo-Portuguese language, which has many affiliations to Sinhalese and Portuguese. They are mixed with other Burgher people, including Dutch Burghers. However, Portuguese Burghers are not Dutch Burghers. Origins: the Portuguese Burghers are largely descendants of the Sri Lanka Mestizos, the people of mixed Portuguese and Sri Lankan descent who appeared in the 16th century, after the Portuguese explorers found the sea route to the Indian Ocean. When the Dutch took over coastal Sri Lanka, the descendants of the Portuguese took refuge in the central hills of Kandyan Kingdom under Sinhalese rule. In time, the Dutch and Portuguese descendants intermarried. Under Dutch rule, Portuguese was banned, but the Portuguese-speaking community was so widespread that even the Dutch started to speak Portuguese. In the 18th century, the Eurasian community grew, speaking Portuguese or Dutch. The Portuguese Burghers were more mixed, following Catholicism and speaking a Portuguese creole language. Despite the socio-economic disadvantage, the Burghers maintained the Portuguese cultural identity. In Batticaloa, the Catholic Burgher Union reinforced this. The Portuguese creole continued to be used amongst the Dutch Burghers' families as the informal language until the end of the 19th century. In today's Sri Lanka, the creole is limited to the spoken form. Most of the speakers of the Burghers in the eastern province, but there are also the Kafirs in the northwestern province. The Portuguese, Dutch and British brought the Kafirs to Sri Lanka for labor purposes. They have assumed Portuguese culture and religion. Genetics. Phenotypically, Burghers can be either light-skinned or dark-skinned. Depending on their ancestral history, it is common to find Burghers with dark to light brown skin and possess European facial features common to the Mediterranean basin. In some Portuguese Burgher families it is common to have both very dark children and children with fair skin. Most light-skinned Burghers are usually of Dutch or British descent. Current status. At the 1981 census, the Burghers were almost 40,000. Many Burghers emigrated to other countries. There are still 100 families in Batticaloa and Trincomalee and 80 Kafir families in Puttalam that still speak the Portuguese creole. They have been out of contact with Portugal since 1656. The Burgher population worldwide is approximated to be around 100,000, concentrated mostly in the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia and New Zealand.